Hi guys, Adam again. So in the last episode, I showed you how you would actually set an exam for your class. And in episode 1, I looked at how to build exams. So if you haven't seen any of those, please go back and check them out. What I'm going to look at in this episode really is just navigating around the actual marking process. And in episode 4, we're actually going to look at marking exams themselves. So what you'll see underneath the Browse, Build and Set Exam buttons, you will see this area here. Now, what you're basically faced with is essentially a list of exams that you've either set in the past or you've got exams coming up. So in this first tab here, it says Next Exams. And what we're faced with here really is things that are either open now. So these will be exams that you have set to your students and they're currently completing at the moment. Obviously, you can keep track of how they're getting on with that. And then also what you can do is look at future assignments. Now, that will be anything that you've set in the future that hasn't opened yet. And you can do that actually that's quite useful actually, because then you can adjust deadlines, adjust start dates if you think that you've set something that needs to be brought forward or pushed back or whatever. So it's really a way of keeping organized and getting ahead of the curve when it actually comes to setting exams for your students. Now, obviously on my demo account, we haven't got any here because I haven't actually created anything for the future, but if you'd done, it would appear in that list there. Past exams. So these are exams that you've set in the past and they've been completed by your students. The deadline has passed. And once you've set your exam and the deadline has gone, they will fall into one of two areas. They will either be marked, which is obviously ones that you've looked at and marked and completed, or not marked, which are ones that you've either not looked at all or you have started but not finished the marking process. Now, what you'll see here in the mark section, obviously I've got quite a few here. These are all past exams that we've set as demos for you guys. You'll see here that you can actually go into each one if you want. You can see how students have done in the past. So you'll see here that Wayland has scored 100%, Edna has not completed the exam. And if you wanted to, you could actually go into this exam itself. So if you click on question analysis, you'll see here that there was only one 6 marker in the exam, and you'll basically be able to analyze how that student has got on. Now, we'll talk more about this interface in the next episode, but yeah, basically you're able to go into separate exams. So if we go back to the main screen, past exams, you're also able to reassign exams, which is a nice little feature. So, if you wanted to actually get your class to do the same exam again, maybe they haven't done very well, or maybe you've had a student that's missed it, or whatever, for whatever reason, you might want to reassign that exam, and this button here allows you to do that quite simply. So these are the marked. Obviously, if they're in the not marked section, that means you haven't completely finished marking them. Again, let's just say, for example, we want to go into this demo exam here. You'll click on the exam, and it will basically show you the list of students you've got. So here I've got 2 students. It says mark exam, which means I haven't finished it. Once I have finished it, it will come up with the status of marked and also their score as well. So basically, click on mark exam. It will take you in there, and actually I can see here that I've actually marked it. I just haven't released it back to the student yet. So that is something I could do, and then it would simply be marked. And when I've done all of those students and they're all marked, it would go into my mark section. And then the students, once you finish marking them all, would get feedback instantly. So very, very simple interface to navigate, hopefully, once you have set the exam and then they've been completed. And in the next episode, I'm going to actually take a look at the marking process and how we would do that on the platform. Cheers.